Hello everyone, I'm Karissa from Shining Light of Minnesota. I'm very excited I have Morgan Evans here today. Welcome, Morgan.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes, so let's kind of dig in a little bit and tell everybody, how did you get into MedTech and what brought you to the Twin Cities and Minnesota?
Yeah, so I was a huge nerd that thought I wanted to be a doctor. And I'm very grateful I learned this before spending a lot of money on med school, but I don't know how to emotionally distance.
Yes.
And so I did a rotation in heart and lung transplant, which intellectually was super fun, but you know, as you can imagine, a lot of loss and death and just tough. And so doing that transplant rotation, realized there's a lot of people that needed solutions to buy time, and that's like where MedTech has a lot of really cool innovations. And have been hooked ever since. And so what brought me to MedTech, I started in the Bay Area for about 5 years in a startup there. Then went to business school in Chicago. And then when I was recruiting coming out of business school, I said, I will live anywhere in the world but the Bay Area.
And that's kind of like me when I want to move out of here. I'm like, anywhere but Minnesota. Like, I'm good. Like, anywhere.
Exactly. Like, just because you feel like you've been there and done that,
you want something new.
And I was recruited to work at Medtronic, which is one of the largest med device companies, and did mergers and acquisitions for them. And then I married the native Minnesotan.
Oh boy.
Then I had kids.
So now you're a Minnesotan.
The roots got deep really quick.
So let's tell everybody a little bit. You're a mom, you're an entrepreneur, you've got a lot of things going. You're a leader as well. Tell some people, or tell our listeners a little bit about some of the things that you have done and been a part of.
You know, I try to describe it as I have two loves, right? One is innovating really cool things, like products primarily, to help humans. The second is business model innovation. And the two kind of naturally come together.
Processes
but they show up,
getting things.
But they show up in a little bit of different ways sometimes. So where I spend majority of my time by far is running a company that's really looking to diagnose a common cause of stroke in the young and help characterize when it's a problem, because it's present in 1 in 4 of us. And obviously we can't go around assuming a fourth of us have strokes, because we don't. So that's where I spend a majority of my time. My clinical co-founder is out of Northwestern Medicine, a cardiologist by training that does this day in, day out. And have really loved building in and digging in. And it's actually funny that you start with like a single product or a problem. And as you peel back the onion,
it branches out.
100%. And so we have 5 different products now, all in that same kind of mission around helping to prevent stroke. So that's the main one. And then I own a couple other businesses or co-found them. So one's the services business that helps other MedTech startups. So serves almost 100 startups on an ongoing basis. So that would be the business model innovation showing up. You know, I was part of a group that just bought our first business, which is again put into the second category probably as well. So,
amazing. So when you got into cardiology and the lung transplant and all of that world, did you have a reason that you wanted to get in there, or were you just kind of like drawn to it just because it was interesting? I mean, everybody has their stories to tell, but
of course, you know, it's fun. So first of all, kudos to my parents. Have been always big advocates of just supporting whatever passion we had, right? And my mom at the time, my grandfather had a pacemaker. She is a busy working mom, right? So I grew up in that household of showing that like you can make it all work. Thanks to having people model it for me. And so she just brought me with her to one of my grandfather's appointments. And I just started asking a bunch of questions. And this is like, I think I was 8th or 9th grade. She's just like, what is she going on about?
What is all this stuff? Like, where's, you know, what's all this parts of the heart now and the stents, and how are you understanding all of this, right?
And so like, it's funny because both my parents did their part in trying to embrace my inner nerd. My mom found actually the sales representative that was in the room with us, asked if I could shadow him. And then my dad, a good family friend, ran a vet clinic and was like, can she go watch vet surgeries as an internship? Which, you know, I think I was doing anesthesia recovery, which basically was watch surgeries and then pet kittens as they wake up. You know, I mean, that was a rough job. But and just kind of breathe life into it and just keep asking and being curious. And I've always been passionate about things that, intellectually interesting. I mean, these are for-profit companies, so hopefully they do well as well, but you're doing good in doing it, right? So all can be true.
I mean, you're in a surgery room and you're dealing with cauterizations and things like that, and that's, people don't, they understand the patient side of things, they don't understand the medical side of things.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about your device.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. So the main one that I mentioned, Agitated Solutions, is the company.
Yep.
And basically, it's a way to provide a contrast in the heart that's very standardized, can be done with one person, and visualize all these things better. And so what people don't realize is, and this is where it was aha for me when I dug in, one of the clinicians we worked with actually at Mayo Clinic was like, oh yeah, when I read these, I can tell when the Bubble Queen did them.
Right, yep.
And I'm like, you can actually tell from reading an image without the person in the room who did it.
Yep.
And if you get an X-ray or an MRI or any sort of other diagnostic,
you can tell by the way they read them, the way they do them.
Yeah, you should never, you shouldn't know that, though, right? Like you should get the same X-ray.
They should be the same, but not everybody's trained the same way or do them the same way, and especially when it gets to the heart. I know I'm from Rochester and I worked at Mayo for a while, so I understand. Yes. Everybody has their own way.
Yeah, and so the step one of that is really standardization. The product's available in Canada. We started there first just because it's a different regulatory path. And then we're in the middle of a clinical trial here in the US.
Nice.
The second product that we came up with, as I mentioned, the peeling back the onion.
Right.
Was they manually count bubbles today as a way to say this is a problem or not, which is a pretty archaic way of doing anything.
Yeah, right. It's like handwriting these days almost. It's kind of starting to go away.
We can type now.
Yep. Or just voice or anything.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically it uses AI, ML, which yes, it's a buzzword and sexy, but it is true.
It's true.
To analyze images to kind of, number one, standardize the read of them. Again, same theory being we need the same things read consistently.
Correct.
But also like a computer can genuinely see stuff differently than a human eye can, especially watching a video clip, which is what a lot of we look at. And so again, trying to use that as a way to better predict which patients are at risk.
Well, because a lot of times people don't realize, but the human eye, when you're looking at something time and time and time again, it gets to be monotonous. I don't care how many times you could even look at a word, and it could be spelled incorrectly, and you just see it the right way, or the correct way that it's supposed to be, just because your eyes are tired and you're tired, and doctors and clinicians put in so many hours. That's the other side of things. They get tired. Like it's kind of it's a world. It's a whole world.
Yeah, and even just like the very simple process of like, if we try to play and pause a video clip as a human, like that is actually quite difficult.
It is, to get it exactly where you want.
To analyze and to see those things, right? Versus a computer that can just, or a software I should say, that just flows through and can frame by frame perfectly analyze, like even that. I mean, it's so simple.
Technology, it's amazing where it's going. At the same time, you kind of start to wonder how much is the computer missing. Like you want to obviously have those clinical trials too, right? You want to make sure you're not missing a section every single time.
And that's where, like, you know, my side of industry, we like to whine and moan about, like, oh, the FDA is this, or they ask this questions, but they do serve a really good purpose for those reasons, right? Like, if I'm going to go and say something that could influence clinical decisions, I hope I got it right.
You know? I want to have enough background information, whether it's here or wherever you're doing it at.
Exactly. Exactly.
So let's talk clinical trials for a little bit. I mean, you've done a lot of those here, and you've done them in Europe and Canada. What do you think is kind of the easier or best way for people to get FDA approved and to follow the process? Obviously, it's a lot. You can't just go to Europe and say, hey, it was approved over there, now I'm going to bring it and it's going to be magically approved over here. They need their process. Yeah,
and it's funny because each of the geographies sometimes look at it differently, sometimes they look at the same, and even if everybody is reaching similar conclusions on what's required to study this in humans, the timelines can be very different. And so, for example, in the past, a lot of people used to go to Europe because it was faster and a little bit more interactive in how you could get feedback and kind of work through. Because often people forget, but you're bringing brand new things no one's ever done before, right? So then this whole definition of what is safe and what does this look like when you're not going to perfectly have answers is sometimes interesting.
Trial and error.
And let's hope that that's not on humans, right? But like at some time it may have to be. And so how do you protect all that downside risk to do the right thing? And then Europe changed its regulation. That was a big thing in our industry. And I would say that people kind of drastically underestimated the amount of work that all took. So then a lot of people that would have gone to Europe first went to the US first, or, you know, for us, we went to Canada first, just because, again, of it just came down to how we were classified.
Yep.
Same work, same rigor, you
Yeah.
know, of what we're trying to do, but sometimes it's just different geographies require different things.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I think the other thing people don't realize is in the United States, in the medical world, we're ahead of a lot of places. We have so many medical advances and technologies and trials and everything like that, where people think, hey, you know, Japan and China, they're so far ahead in technology, but in the medical world, that's where we're at.
Yeah, and it's hard because, I mean, the statistics on the amount that the U.S. spends on healthcare
Right.
is not great.
No.
We all know that.
Right.
However, because we spend that amount as a healthcare system on healthcare,
Yeah.
every company of innovation in the world wants to come here.
Absolutely. Right. Oh, yes.
And
of
so
course.
it's part of the
Right.
challenge. And
You're
you
going
know,
elsewhere and they're wanting to come here. It's just kind of
Yeah.
a how can we get it done quicker, but they're wanting a piece of the pie too.
Yeah, and they're brilliant brains here.
Yes.
I mean, we've been very fortunate. I mean, even in the trial that I'm working in now,
Yep.
I mean, we've got NYU and Mayo Clinic and Northwestern, Jackson Heart, and
Yep.
and then a Canadian center as well. But yeah, it's a tough balance though sometimes
Right.
between the bigger the name, sometimes they
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
always the fastest.
No,
or,
and, well,
you
and
know.
it's always,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's like, I want to go to Mayo, I want to go to, I'm like, I lived in Rochester, I'm from there, you know, there's other hospitals that are just as good. I'm up here in the cities, let's just, you know, the name is behind it, yes, just like anywhere else, or the United States are behind it, but
Yep.
yeah, it doesn't always mean it's going to give you the answer you want or the time frame that you want, or, yeah.
Yes.
So what have been some of the newest trials that you've gone on, or where are you looking to explore next?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the kind of current one I'm doing with Agitated Solutions, so
Yes.
basically studying the contrast side has been a big one.
Yeah.
Very time consuming, and I mean, you know, roughly half the money that we're raising, right,
Right.
goes just to doing that clinical trial.
Yeah.
We've started looking at others that are all around, again, can we better predict stroke? And because the good news is what we're looking for, basically, it's a hole between, or a flap between your two sides of your heart.
Yep.
I mentioned it's present in 1 in 4 people. The reason for that is that it's present in every single baby in
Right.
the womb because their
It's
heart
not
beats.
developed yet.
Their heart beats, but the lungs don't function.
Yeah.
And so then when you're born, that should close, and some people it doesn't. And right now, that can be, if that flap is there, blood can go from one side to the other and cause a stroke from that. And the problem, though, is we know how to fix it, which
Yeah.
is they go and they plug it, essentially.
Yeah.
But it's only indicated to prevent secondary stroke, meaning you have to have had a stroke.
Yep. You have to
Then
have the
show
first
that you
massive
have
stroke.
this.
Got it.
Then get the hole plugged. And so a lot of what we're trying to figure out is, admittedly, maybe the people that would be indicated after you've had a stroke is a bigger group
Right.
than those that are like, whoa, this is really high risk.
Yeah.
Let's do it before they actually have the stroke in the first place.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of what we're trying to study in combination with the software and the contrast, which is kind of fun.
Well, and it's one of those things too, like if you don't know that you're not going to have a stroke, you're not going to go in just to get tested to find out, hey, am I one of
Yeah.
those 4 people? Am I, you know, one of those ones that needs to get a plug before I need to get it? It's
Yeah.
always when they're sick, they're going to come in and they want to know what's wrong, like,
Well,
or
and-
figure things out.
And just in general, I think the field is evolving a lot in, like, I mean, there's whole body MRI clinics
absolutely.
that pop up, right?
Yeah.
Where like,
Yep.
if you can afford, and
Or you can have one at your home. I mean, you can just,
Yeah.
whatever it may be, let's just go in and get the MRI of the whole body scan and know where you're at
or
whenever
like
you want.
the kind of more preventative health, that kind of
Yeah.
movement where it's interesting.
getting
There's
there.
a couple people looking to do this. It's just
Yeah.
like, wouldn't you want to know if you were one in the
Absolutely,
4 that
right.
had it? And then, you know, maybe you watch it differently knowing that.
Same goes with cancer research or anything. I mean,
yeah.
I kind of, long story short, my mom has Alzheimer's dementia. My dad died of Parkinson's and cancer. And now all my kids, my daughter had a very rare disease. And she's like, Mom, you know, do you think that any of that could have come from you? I'm like, well, I'm going to go and, you know, I'm going to check my labs more frequently and get them more in depth.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do what I need to do and do all the research and
Yeah.
try to see. I mean, I'm young enough. I'm making smart choices health-wise. Like, let's prolong it and see what we can do to
Yeah.
kind of help that out. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and it's interesting too how, I mean, and I feel like I'm like talking negatively of
Yeah.
our healthcare system
Right.
more than I would
Right.
like to,
No, I
because
get it,
there's a
but
lot
yes.
of positive innovators.
Yes. Right.
But so much of this also is us trying to advocate for our own health and
Right.
trying to figure out, how do I be more proactive,
Right.
or
Just
where would I think
what do I
about
do?
this?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, it comes from us asking the curious question
Yeah.
often, instead of our healthcare system
Right.
is so overworked that
Well, it's like, okay, I
It's
want to get
tough.
in there and get, you know, my yearly done, but it's going to be 2 years out, or it's going to be so far out. So,
Correct.
okay, like, I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to do what I can do. And yeah, I mean, my mom just got a pacemaker put in. And so it's one of those things, you know, that's on the forefront of everybody's mind is their health. When they start seeing people get terminally ill or just having major things happen, they're like, okay, you know, I'm young. What can I do? What can I do to make sure my kids don't go through that and everything like that? Yes.
One of my favorite books, and it was actually just gifted to me by a good friend as well, is Die With Zero. I don't know if you've read this, but the whole premise being like the return on investing of investing in your health, like you will never regret spending money on those things.
Absolutely. Right. Yes. So mom side of things. Yes. Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
It gets to be busy. People don't understand. I mean, no matter what world you're in, when you're a working mom.
Yes.
It's all the things. And all the attention and all the exhaustion. Yes.
Yeah.
How has it been? I mean, there's not a work-life balance. I mean, as much as people want it, it's work is here, balance is here. It just kind of flip-flops, but it all works out. Kids are resilient and they look at you like you're their superhero, and yeah.
First of all, thank you for reiterating that, because
Yes.
I've got two littles. So
Yes.
my daughter is not quite 18 months.
Yep.
My son is 4. And when you're like in it, you're like, oh gosh, am I doing it wrong? Is there that? Because I know myself, I'm not going to be a good mom if I'm not fulfilled as well, which is mentally a lot
Morgan
of this
best
for me.
first, and then
Correct.
once you're good, then I can feel that fire.
But you're exactly right. Like it's this pendulum that you're like, well, we were pretty heavy in work this week, so let's try to swing back the other direction.
Absolutely.
And you hope that it nets in the right spot.
Right.
But there is no such perfect middle.
Perfect middle. No, not at all.
And it's a lot of iteration too of, you know, maybe I'll try to get out of the house earlier tomorrow so I can be home in time for this thing.
Yeah,
you know?
try to figure things out, and you just go with the flow, and things happen. I mean, I've been, you know, I was a single mom, had 3 kids. We have a blended family now of 7, still not married, but it is a catch-22. Like, and you just make it happen. You do what you do, and you the kids will know and they'll understand. But at the same time, you be there as much as you can for them too. But your guilt in the mom world is like, all right, 90-hour work week this week. Like, let's do this, you know, like late nights, early mornings. Yeah.
And I know it's not intentional, but of course, like I'll have traveled for work or something. You come home and like usually my husband and I, we switch off like who does which kid at what bedtime, because they go to bed at 7:30 now, you know. And I'll come home, my 4-year-old will be like, I want daddy to put me to sleep tonight. And you're like, and you only seem to do this when I've been traveling. So like, hint
you're always a mom girl, but I get it. Like, you're
like,
now rocking with that
received.
one. Got it. Yep.
Yes. But you know, I mean, they're resilient. I hope too.
Yes.
But
absolutely.
it does hurt a little.
Oh yeah, I know. It's and it does. They grow and change with it, but it's just the whole. You're wanting them to be excited and be like, mom's home, and it's like, I'm good. I've got this. Like, I'm already like a little adult, but I'm not. Yeah. So you're now in Minnesota doing all the things for Medtronic. Some of the clinical trials, obviously, you've done in Canada, you've done in Europe, and you've won some awards. Let's talk a little bit about those and what that meant to you.
Yeah. So first of all, let me start by saying, like, I'm one of those people that get a little uncomfortable by the recognition.
I do too,
And it's, I'm grateful for it, but I actually had another mentor of mine, a gentleman by the name of Mike Nathan, that was kind of like, hey, you got to flip the way you view it, which is if you getting awards makes your companies thrive, move faster, get funding better, get better visibility.
Get your name out there.
That's the advantage of it, right? Not like, oh, Morgan wants to pound her chest and feel cool about herself.
It's not like a why me or like I'm awesome, I'm doing this. No,
but it took a bit to like recognize that, and for that reason as well, right? Like I might get the reward, but it is because of the team behind you that helped do it. So I mean, Minnesota has an amazing one, which is 40 under 40. That was great recognition, an amazing event put on. The recent one is a national one, which is 40 under 40 in cardiovascular business, which that one, given what I'm working in, was exciting.
Makes sense,
and it's not necessarily all business people. It was like clinicians and things like that as well. And then got a female founder award for Inc. as well. So
amazing. Congratulations.
Nice little recent win of a few. So.
It is, but it's hard. I mean, I know I just recently won an award myself, and I'm just, part of me is like, you know, why me in this little tin shop world? Am I winning against all these contractors? You know, in Minnesota based or whatever it may be through finance and commerce, and I'm like, you know what? No, Sun Control's doing this. Like, we're getting the name out there.
100%.
We're making it. We're doing it as a team. Like, it's an us thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing is it does feel, I mean, someone has to be the one accepting it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have a really lean and mean team.
Yeah.
And the amount that we've done with just practically very little resourcing
Yeah.
is like so, and that's the stuff that it's like
Yep.
definitely not me that did.
Right.
So
People
yeah.
get you to where you are today. Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who have been some of your major mentors along the way?
Yeah, so I actually, one of them just moved back to Minnesota, and my
nice.
heart is very full.
Oh, yay.
So Jody Hubler is a main one. Amy Langer, who's on my boards as well. You know, just people that have embraced me being me. And there was a period of time that I think I felt the need to make myself smaller or to fit more neatly in a box because of perceptions and what people said. And
It's a male-dominated world, and this is the way you need to do it. You have to do it, and
and the fact that I even
conforming.
have more than one thing. I mean,
Yeah.
the number of people, mainly older white men,
Right.
that would be like, pick one.
Yeah, stay in one lane. Pick your lane. Yeah.
And I've always been like, well, show me where a ball is being dropped, and then I'm
Right.
happy to do that.
Yep.
You know, but I do multitask very well and
Yep.
all those things. And so, you know, they have been just really inspirational to me, very supportive, and also given, I was just telling her this, Jody, last night, like giving tough love, but with solely positive intent.
Right. Yep.
And it's kind of weird to think about, but sometimes like it's hard for them to give that feedback.
Right.
Hard for you to receive it.
Hard for you to receive it, but that's what like you
But you
want
need
to
to hear
grow.
it.
You need that to grow. It's not like
Yes.
it's not all sunshine and rainbows wherever you go, and it's not all a perfect world and everything's great and happy until it isn't, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's learn and let's grow. Let's
Yeah,
figure
I
this
was
out.
just talking to Amy about a specific topic, and you know, you frame it up like a question of being like, "Oh, I'm having this challenge. Can you
Yeah.
help me think about it?" And I was thinking this was like the other person, how do I manage their challenge, right?
Yeah.
And she totally flipped it, was like, in how, well, why are you in the middle of the conversation in the first place?
Where's
And I
your
was
spot
like,
in the lane? Yeah.
And it
right.
was fair feedback, you
Right,
know,
yeah.
but it's like, I appreciate when they ask the question you didn't ask,
expect.
but you needed it.
Yep. So what have been some of the obstacles you faced along the way?
Yeah, I've had to learn the lesson a couple times of it's not just the what, but the how. And what I mean by that is finding team and partners. I mean, startups are hard.
Yeah.
They are hard.
They are very hard.
And people assume it's these rainbows, sunshine, everything goes up and to the right perfectly.
All the processes are already set before you get there, and you're not wearing a million hats and trying to figure a million things out. And
Yeah, and I've come to appreciate positivity in it, and I've had to learn that kind of the hard way of just putting people that are in the trenches with you that may or may not have the solution but are confident we're going to find it.
Yeah. Yep.
And just that mentality, I think, has made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know, it's tough to learn the people. It always comes down to the people, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it.
Whether it's a barrier or it's someone bringing you in to help you out. And
Yep. And so, you know, I feel like that's an area I've grown a lot. And actually, one of my mentors jokes, but you know, in some areas I've been way ahead of my time, and some I'm way behind. And the people management tends to be one that takes me a little bit more time. So, yeah.
But that's okay. Everybody has their ebbs and flows, and like once you get there, then you're going to be excelling in that, where there will be other people that'll be like, hey, I need help with this. Yeah.
Exactly. Or have the phone a friend that can be like, I'm not your person, but I know
I'm
who
calling
is.
her. Yep, I've got this. Like you don't have to wear all the hats all the time.
Yes.
That's why you have a team around you.
Yes, exactly.
So people always think, and this is kind of how we are too. Obviously, you're now Minnesota based from the Bay Area. Clinical trials, when they're done, you send teams there. It's not like you have, hey, I've got a group, I'm going to just phone a friend and can you guys run this clinical trial for me in Europe? Or can you guys do this for me here and there? Tell everybody a little bit about that, because we do the same thing. I mean, yes, we have different locations, but installs can be handled anywhere through our team, and we'll send them out if we don't have those locations.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting in general because my world is so like you're in this stage, then you're in that stage, then you're in this stage, that the whole debate of what if that is an internal hire versus a partner? And in the trial, it's both.
Right.
So I have a wonderful woman that runs our Clin and Reg, Pamela. We love our trial sites that are local.
Yes,
so
right. Oh, absolutely. Yes, when you have those to help out, it's amazing.
Yeah,
yes.
so we have one in Rochester, for
Nice.
example.
There you go.
Adding one here in the Twin Cities. And you know, exactly, we go and support.
But those one-ups when you don't.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's thankfully we're not a massive one, so a number of sites or patients, so we can send our people just to go out and come back. But it does take a village. Like, we still have contract partners.
Yeah.
Just part of that is best practice too.
Right.
Of like, you want to have.
Is this something we need to do, or is this something somebody else can help us out at too? Yeah.
Yeah, but it is a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle sometimes of like, well, what's the highest quality always first, right?
Yes.
Especially in the work we do.
Yep.
Followed by like path of most efficiency, and maybe that's capitally efficient too, but sometimes not. And
are the people I'm going to have doing the trials going to give me the information I need too, if I'm spending all the money, or is it going to be worth it? Am I going to have to do it again back here because I did it there and do it a second time?
Yes, and that's where it's nice to not have to. And that I will say that's where like part of the strategy for us was, we were able to go into Canada. Canada did not require a clinical trial to be able to like be in market.
Nice.
So we were able to use it before we started our trial. I want to say at least in 300-ish patients.
Yep.
So not that there's like kinks per se, but like we're like, oh, okay, we have to inform people, do this or do that a little more deliberately than we may have thought.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the kind of stuff that it's nice to dry run a little bit, or, you know, before you get into the thick of it too.
Yes.
So.
Well, a lot of times I feel, I mean, from what I've known from the medical industry, the real world is starting to kind of come around, which is nice too. Like, once you've done the trial somewhere else, instead of saying, hey, yes, I know the FDA is the way it is, but if I've done it there, the real world information can be used to help guide that when you get back, or doing
exactly.
it here.
And there, so for example, that's part of our strategy. So and I mentioned some of the regulatory pieces, but the contrast that we have in the US is regulated as a drug. In Canada and the rest of the world, it's a device. And that's part of why we were able to get it faster. So typically you would need 2 randomized controlled trials in the US to get something approved as a drug.
Right.
Well, we're doing 1.
Right.
And then this whole new regulation and kind of embracing of real world allows us to use real world evidence essentially as the second.
Absolutely.
Now it's still a little ugly in trying to make sure you get what is enough robustness around the data that they're like, okay, I can take this as meaningful. But yet recognize it's being used in the real world. And so sometimes
there was enough trials done, it was enough information.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not black and white. So
no, right. And it never probably will be. But
but it makes sense, right? I mean, that's, and honestly,
the trial's done is the trial's done. Everybody's sick somewhere, and everybody has to have it done. Yeah.
And sometimes things do better in a trial than they would in the wild, if you will, because of the fact that someone's not like babysitting very slowly every little thing.
Right.
So it is actually a really good, in my opinion, way to kind of represent actual use too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when it comes to heart and lung transplant too. I mean, everybody, and the way the world's going, I mean, you hear about things, more technology's getting it more and more at your fingertips. I mean, through the ultrasounds and the x-rays, and being able to look at those as a normal person and understand them, and everybody wants to be their own Google doctor and all of that too. Like, I know what I'm talking about. It's like, but do you? Like,
I do. I actually asked a clinical friend, I'm like, do you get the like ChatGPT of like a patient comes in being like, I have diagnosed myself with the following. And they're like, my 30 years of practicing medicine and my medical degree would say, probably not. And here's
your Dr. Google, ChatGPT, and then like, I've seen like, let's take your image and pop it in somewhere and have them try to read it for you. No, sorry. Like, that's we're pulling words apart and trying to understand things. Like, let's wait till the doctor talks to you. Like,
but it is good, I think, at least as consumers, to better understand and to at least know the questions to ask. Because I
educate
don't think,
themselves too on what's going on. And
or like understand trade-offs and risks and all those things. Because sometimes people don't. Again, everybody's busy, right? There's a lot to do, and they don't always break it down in the way that we need it to be broken down. So
well, and sometimes I mean, layman's terms, like when you go into a hospital, like my mom will ring me, she doesn't understand, I mean, obviously where she's at, but or she'll bring my brother, and it's like, okay, let's dumb it down now for you a little bit there, and I know what questions to ask going into it. It's like, you want to have that person with you, if it's not you, to get those questions out to the doctor, because they don't know what you are looking for, what you want, or
Yeah.
what you're understanding, what you're not. They're just kicking it out versus what they know.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep, exactly.
Yes. So what exciting things do you have coming up next, do you think? I mean, you've got the trials, you've got all the things.
So we're hoping that the trials wrap up this year, and then, you package everything nicely and say, hey,
Here's your
FDA,
bow.
what are your thoughts?
Yep.
Yeah. So that takes some time, but, really getting it in our backyard and getting, these technologies out is really exciting for us as a company. The services business I mentioned that was like where I Avio MedTech is the company, but it's really started to kind of hum and take off, and it's been really fun because a lot of my learnings as an entrepreneur, I try to sit here and be like, gosh, I wish I had known something or done this differently.
Right.
Does anyone else struggle with this? And it's such a fun sandbox to then say, well, there's 100 other startups over here that Avio is helping. Like, what of this can be transferred?
If I'm seeing this before you even get there, are you seeing this too? Or I don't want you to see this.
Or please learn from my mistakes. Yes,
Yep.
I would happily do that. Because then it's a positive flywheel, right?
Yeah, right.
We want to get 1,000 technologies into humans as a business,
Absolutely.
right? So if we can help other entrepreneurs do it better and faster and
fluid.
Less money and fluid,
Yep.
it's just a really good flywheel, and hopefully they pass that on to the next entrepreneur as well.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying the kind of viewing this as an ecosystem as opposed to a singular.
Well, we all went together.
Event.
Let me help you help your people too, because the more patients we can help, the more people and the more research we can get done.
In all sorts of amazing different spaces,
Yep.
So it's part of the fun of it.
Well, and there's so many people that are anti-clinical trials and anti all the research because they're like, oh, the research isn't helping. I'm like, but it is, because look where we are today. Every day, you learn stuff every day. You're outside, you're looking at things, you're reading things, If we don't get the research, we don't do the trials, we're never going to know all the things,
And it's hard. I mean, it's all should be a balance of risk and benefit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a high risk thing, you're going to put a pacemaker in someone that if not done properly, they could die.
Right.
I hope they study that a little bit more, right?
Yep. Or if someone has brain surgery or they need a lung transplant, let's hope it's going to be the right fit for you. And
Or if you're going to get a new Band-Aid out in the market, cool, but you probably don't need to. I mean, that's more of just will consumers buy it, which is a very different world. Yeah. So.
But at the end of the day, there's a reason and a plan for everything. You've just got to help and progress and make generation and make the world a little bit of a better place.
And that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Make it better for our kids and, my 4-year-old and 18-month-old, right?
Right.
So that they've got a better world left behind for
It'll
them.
be interesting to see what in the medical world, or in any world, but the medical especially, when they get older and when grandkids get older and things like that too, and people start having those, the way technology is going. I mean, robotics and AI and everything taking over, and it's already there. People don't always see it, but it's there more than a lot of people know.
Well, and it's cool because sometimes it takes our side just a little bit longer to catch up with what you see in an iPhone, right?
Oh, right.
They can iterate so fast.
Yep.
And again, for all the reasons we mentioned, it's a little slower on the medtech side.
Yep.
But in particular, it used to be we're a pharma company or a biotech company or a device company or digital health company.
All the different.
And they're all of the silos are kind of becoming combined and fluid.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see all the things that come out
flow
of that.
now. Yep.
Even just, your Apple Watch, right?
Right.
And I know there's a lot of literature on this and news on it, but being able to detect AFib, atrial fibrillation, right?
Yep.
So that would have been normally something just as a convenience tool that's now doing some wellness product
All the health stuff,
Yeah. So it's cool to see it all intersect.
I mean, from that to people getting the Whoop to see where their heart rate's at, the mood rings, the sleeping patterns, just everything, the way it's all transcribing is fun. Yeah.
And just better optimization of all of our health never hurts.
Nope, right? As long as you do it the right way and follow the right
enough.
advice. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't recommend
That's not doing your own test trials or test trials.
Yeah, yes, going to some foreign country for some very experiment.
Under medical advisory.
Yes, exactly.
So what do you think has been one of your biggest successes that you've had? I mean, I know you have a lot of businesses, you're a mom, doing all those things.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I've talked a lot about Agitated Solutions and I am really proud of what we have done and built there. And I do think, on the consultancy side with Avio, I genuinely didn't think I was building a company. And I know that is like a weird statement,
Right.
but I thought I was creating a holding company of people.
Yeah.
And I had 2 startups at the time, and I was just using them to do my own things, right? And I was
working smarter, not harder. Yeah.
Smarter, not harder. And I was trying to innovate, not just in like, there's these 5 things that have to be done, but how do we do those 5 faster, better? Because when you have 2 of them, you
Replicate
start
like a
asking those
computer
questions.
system. Like, let's get this and get those processes set.
Exactly. And it was funny because it was right before my son was born, literally like 2 months before,
Oh boy.
that I like took my head out of the sand and I was like, this is actually a business.
Right.
I should run it
It's a
like
good
one.
business model.
You
like,
know?
let's, yep.
Yeah, and brought in some help and professionalized it, and that's part of why I really enjoy the business now. And I don't run it on a day to day. I mean,
Right.
I fought very hard to self fund it and wholly own it.
Yep.
Because I didn't want the first answer, if you take investors, the first answer is raise rates.
Yep, absolutely. Let's jack this one up and let's
Right,
get it
and then
done.
you turn around and you're like, I mean, yes, but we're serving like starved startups that are all trying to change the world and
Everybody's trying to
help people.
Yep, right, yeah.
So like that doesn't seem quite the way to do it.
Make it X amount so they can't get to that point.
So it's been interesting to just, and I'm really proud of the way that business has innovated to be a successful business, because you have to have margin to have mission.
Correct.
But also to really stress test and push ourselves to be doing it better and cheaper and differently, often at that company's shorter term loss,
Absolutely.
but hopefully obviously longer term benefit.
Yeah.
So it's been a really fun thing that I'm also proud of.
Which is good. I mean, it's good to have those babies, the things that you just didn't know that were there, like the little nuggets, and now it's like flowing and be like, I did it at the time when I least would have expected to do it, like 2 months into having my child, and be like, okay, let's go.
Yep. And twice I tried to take maternity leaves and learned that mentally I'm not made for them.
Nope. Right.
I've worked a lot less.
Yeah. Right.
But that's part of
But
what
you still work. Like you still do what you do. Yeah.
I mean, I can only just sit and binge watch TV.
Right. Yeah. There's
so
only so
long.
many hours in a day and too many things. Your brain starts to go, and I'm like, okay, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And
my husband was like, I think you need to, like, because, then the to-do list in the house gets too long, right?
Yeah,
and he's like, no, please, apply that brain elsewhere.
Yep, you go do that. Don't worry about all the other stuff. We've got this.
Exactly.
Do you have any trips or travel planned that are not work that are coming up?
Yeah, actually, so my husband and I are doing our 5-year anniversary.
Ooh,
so at the end of this month, thank you. So we were supposed to get married in 2020, and as a lot of people that had to reschedule that one. But so headed to San Diego for that, and then some fun work trips. And because my kids are so little, we do little weekends. But I'm not at the point yet where getting, especially my daughter, love her, but she just is walking. So to sit still for a flight is not a stage of life we're in.
And you do enough traveling. I mean, I do enough traveling. It's one of those things you see it. You're not. You just know, like, it's a busy age. Like, they want to get up and move around and see all the things and touch all the things and do all the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I recently realized that, like, we were so just, like, chaotic with my daughter on the flight. And at the end of the flight, I was like, wait, I didn't have to tell my son to stop kicking the seat or to speak at a reasonable level. So there is light at the end of the tunnel.
We can get there. We're getting there. Yep,
it's coming
soon.
Yeah.
And then by that time, you're going to be like, I kind of miss those days. Like all the exploration and the excitedness for everything. Yeah. How fun.
Yes.
Well, it was great having you on today. If there was anything or any advice that you've been given to your younger self, what do you think that would have been?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm just a big believer in take the risk, take the jump, but do it in a mitigated way. And for me, younger self, I did it relatively earlier, I think, than most, but just trying to find the mentors to surround you. And
for sure.
And I think there's so many people that you hear that just don't take that very first step because they're more worried about the downside than protecting the downside, if that makes sense. The
what ifs,
Yeah, and just do it.
And that kind of circles back to outlook, like how people look at things too.
100%.
Like you have a positive outlook, you go and do things and try things, like things will keep moving forward. If you always look at the negative in life,
Yeah.
you're not going to get to that next step. So just take that first step.
Yeah, the entrepreneurs that are like, oh, you know, what if it doesn't work? And I'm like, you're clearly hireable. You have a job now.
Right. But what if it does? Like, why not look at it that way? Like, why not?
Worst case, go back.
Right?
You know,
you can get there. You're gonna find it. If not, that job will still be there.
100%.
If not, that one may be a better one. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you'll have learned a lot doing it, right? So it makes you better for it.
Yes. So if people want to help fund or help in any way they can, what can they do?
I love this question. So I will say we need more early stage investing in medtech. And a lot of people get nervous because they're like, I don't understand medical.
Right.
And I get that, right?
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
It is. But that doesn't change the fact that we need people still
needed.
Making the bet.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And so, you know, we're not allowed to solicit officially, of course, but we are always
But people always
seeking
need to know or want to know. Yep.
Yep. And so, you know, people could reach out to me through the Agitated Solutions has a website.
Yeah.
Again, not soliciting, but you know, I would just encourage folks
or if
as
they just
well.
want to find out more.
Exactly.
To get more information.
Yeah, if you'd like to get more information, they can reach out.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, people can make money in these businesses and really have impactful work that they've done doing it. And so both can be true. And if you're nervous about it, go ask your cardiology friend if they think it's a good idea. You know?
And then sooner or later, there's going to be somebody that's going to need heart help, or they're going to have, you know, AFib, or they're going to need a pacemaker, or they're going to need surgery and stents put in or balloons put in or whatever it may be. Like, there's always somebody in your life that's going to need that or have that. And why not do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's a good use of funds.
Right, I know. Any advice that you would give to our audience?
You know, I think the phone a friend is often a very underappreciated resource, but I would say that's one of the things I'm good at, and encourage people to, you know, not always be so transactional in asking for the help, but in building the network and give first, and then it'll come back around.
Yeah, karma has a way of working itself out, and it all does in a wonderful way. Yep. Well, we appreciate having you on today. How can people find Agitated Solutions and Avio and all of those places?
Yes, so Agitated Solutions is online, so it's www.agitatedsolutions.com.
Yep.
Pretty straightforward. Same thing with Avio, Avio MedTech Consulting.com. Actually, I don't even know if there's a consulting in there. I should know. But I'm sure if you Google Avio MedTech or ChatGPT, you can find it.
Or just put your name and they'll find you that way too.
Or Morgan Evans on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Right.
Let's be friends.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
People always forget about it. I'm like, you could just Google, like, obviously Google search is out there, but just 100%. Putting in the Morgan Evans and they'll find it too.
LinkedIn is an easy place to get a hold of me too. So
wonderful. Well, we appreciate having you on today. We look forward to seeing and hearing about all the things in the future, and any way people can or want to get a hold of you. If they can't find you, they can get a hold of me.
Yes, and thank you again for the opportunity. It's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate all the things that you're modeling for other moms in different stages of life as well.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
thank you.
Everybody has a story to tell, in any way that we can get the word out there and just help people and hear the story and get to know them on a deeper level. That's my why. Like, I'm around so many people. Let's do this. Let's all win together. Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Let's keep shining light. See you guys later.